The silence before the terror. It was a cold, heavy night in a small, isolated town, surrounded by forests so dark they seemed to swallow all light. Michael, a young photography enthusiast, decided to head out to capture images of the starry sky. He always said the tranquility of the night inspired his best work. That evening, armed with his camera, a flashlight, and a sense of adventure, he set out to explore a new location. The old Blackwood Trail, a place shrouded in legends. Some claimed it was haunted. Others swore they heard screams when passing through. But Michael didn't believe in superstitions only, in the beauty his lens could reveal. The beginning of the strange. Upon arriving at the trail, the silence was unnerving. No sounds of animals, not even the rustling of leaves, just the crunch of his footsteps on the gravel and his controlled breathing. He adjusted his camera and began taking pictures. The images were stunning, but something felt off. With every click, he sensed a faint feeling of being watched. Reviewing his initial shots, he noticed something unsettling. In one accidental frame, a shadow loomed in the distance. It was tall and seemingly human, but distorted, as though something was wrong with its shape. Michael laughed it off, thinking it was a lens defect or a trick of the light. He continued down the trail, but the feeling of being accompanied lingered. His flashlight began flickering irregularly. He replaced the batteries, but the issue persisted. The first encounter, suddenly a sound broke the silence. Footsteps, slow and heavy, echoing behind him. Michael froze, straining to listen. He quickly spun his flashlight around, but saw nothing. "It's just my imagination," he murmured, trying to reassure himself. However, as he moved on, the footsteps seemed to grow louder and more frantic, as though something was running after him. Now, gripped by fear, Michael quickened his pace, but the steps matched him. He decided to use his camera to record as he walked. The screen revealed something that stopped him dead in his tracks. Behind him, the same figure from the photo was much closer now. It was tall, skeletal, with disproportionately long arms and eyes that glowed a dull red. It made no sound, just stared. The chase, he ran as fast as he could, his breathing ragged, his heart pounding. The trail felt endless, and he couldn't shake the sense that the figure was closing in. In a moment of panic, he tripped and fell, his flashlight skidding away. Lying on the ground, he heard a terrible sound like claws scraping against stone. Turning slowly, he saw the figure mere meters away. It was motionless, yet the way the moonlight illuminated its face made it seem as though it was smiling. Michael grabbed the flashlight and shone it directly at the figure, but the light passed through it as if it were a solid shadow. He tried to scream, but no sound escaped his throat. Desperate, he ran again, this time veering off the trail into the forest. Branches tore at his skin, and the sound of claws seemed to surround him. The disappearance. After what felt like hours, Michael stumbled into a clearing. He was exhausted, dirty, and covered in scratches. Relief washed over him when the sound finally stopped. He looked back one last time, but saw nothing. Still holding his camera, he decided to record a final message. Fearing the worst, his words were short, trembling with panic. "If anyone finds this, don't come here, ever. It's not safe." As he glanced at the camera's screen, his blood ran cold. The figure was standing directly behind him. He had no time to react. The camera dropped to the ground, capturing only the sound of his screams and the chilling silence that followed. Epilogue. What remained? Days later, hikers discovered Michael's camera and backpack. His body, however, was never found. The video became an urban legend, shared on horror forums and obscure websites. Some swear they see the same figure in the footage, watching not only Michael, but anyone bold enough to view it. The Blackwood Trail remains, but now no one dares to explore it at night.